Escaped killers. The Supreme Court making huge decisions this week on Obamacare, on gay marriage, terrorist attacks. Bristol Palin is pregnant. Bobby Christina, got that story. That's all that's that's just some of what is trending this week on What's Trending Today. I am Jennifer Horn, sitting solo in my big old video studio all by myself. You know, we used to have co-hosts on the show. We used to have fabulous Brian Whitman. Then we had fabulous Lori Baker Shenna. And now I'm sitting here. I'd sing. Do you want me to sing? All by myself. Yeah. All right. So apparently I need alcohol to sing a little better. But joining me, my producer extraordinaire, Matt Besson. So Matt, feel free to pop in if you are so inclined.
Oh, I'm invited.
Of course. You're always invited. Hello, you have a standing invitation.
Thank you.
So it was a busy week, a busy news week. The point of this show, if you're just tuning in for the first time, is we will take you through all of the stories that have been trending all week long on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram even, and then we mix it together with what's been talked about in the newspapers, on cable news, network news, what's going on all over, what's making news, and we get you all prepped. So when you go out this weekend, you're hanging out at the party, maybe you go out to a bar, you're going to sound totally smart, like you know exactly what's going on in the world, because we are getting you ready to go with all the top trending stories. Now, this has been a great week for me because I only had to work 2 days. I took a little vacation, which usually my vacations tied to work somehow. This one not. Probably my first one in 20 years. Okay, maybe not that much. 3 years that I've done that's just fun, vacation, no work involved. And I checked an item off of my bucket list, Matt. I went to Atlantic City. And, you know, I don't know why Atlantic City was on my bucket list, but it was one of the places that I always wanted to see. And so I have a friend, Frank Morano. Actually, you know him.
Yeah, I remember Frank.
He's a contributor to this show. He was one of the co-hosts that left me.
You left him out of the list. That's why he left.
Anyway, he is like Mr. New York. He's Mr. Staten Island. He's Mr. Atlantic City. So I actually got a personal tour of Atlantic City with Frank. And, you know, really interesting. The town, the city has been suffering quite a bit from what I hear. 9 casinos are currently open. I think 12 were around just a few years ago. The Rebel, the Showboat, those have all closed down. Trump's Taj Mahal, which he doesn't own anymore, but has still got his name all over it.
Name, yeah.
Those are that one's kind of teetering. You know, it's like on the brink of closing down. And it was interesting to see why. I can't really figure out why. I mean, I stayed at the Borgata, which was a beautiful hotel. Mm-hmm. It had everything that Vegas has to offer. But it seems like, you know, I think the Indian casinos are killing places like Atlantic City, maybe even places like Vegas, because now you don't have to travel to gamble.
That's true.
So I don't know if it's just, you know, the oversaturation of casinos being available. That could be it. There seemed to be a lot of older people. I was thinking maybe, you know, there needed to be some residency. You know how Vegas does like Celine Dion?
What?
That's exactly what it was like. I mean, these people were on full air oxygen tanks sitting. But, you know, a lot of older people because I don't know why. Maybe they dropped the bus out there. But we'll continue. We'll talk a little more about Atlantic City. I'm thinking they need someone like, you know, Britney Spears to come and bring things in, or maybe like a food and wine festival. Or
Britney Spears, bring in the older people.
We have to rebrand Atlantic City. Up next, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court. Big decisions this week. It is What's Trending Today. Jennifer Horn, Matt Besson on CRN.
I'm Jay Farner with some great news on how you could save an average of $3,000 per year on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. The HARP guidelines have changed. There's less paperwork and often no appraisal required. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN. Or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. Like the L2501 DT compact tractor. Now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years and factory rebates, you can do more for less. That's value. That's Kubota. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Shaking it up this week was the Supreme Court. See what I did there, Maddie Matt? It is what's trending today on CRN. I'm Jennifer Horn, Matt Besant in studio with me. The Supreme Court does this every year. They take all of their most controversial cases. They take everything and they wait. They're the ultimate high school student. They're the procrastinators of the world. They take every big case that they have. They wait until the week of summer vacation and then they dump all of these decisions on people, and then they're at the beach. Like, people are running around. There's chaos in the street. People are celebrating. People are angry. There's just a lot of emotion. And the Supremes are all sitting like on the shore with a Mai Tai. You know, they're done and over.
Exactly. They did their job.
They did their job. They dumped it. Now, here are a couple of big decisions. More than just this happened this week, but the Supreme Court upheld Obamacare subsidies. Now, this was really big and emotionally charged because President Obama is building his legacy around Obamacare and the fact that Obamacare will be still in position and a success when he leaves office, okay? So he has been very confident all the way along. Might I dare say cocky, maybe a little bit arrogant.
Well, when you make it mandatory, yeah, you can be cocky about it.
Well, I think he was very confident that the Supreme Court would have the ruling that they did. And then people, you know, didn't seem too surprised on the Republican side that this was upheld as well. There wasn't a lot of sadness. If you were a politician, you were not so sad to see this decision come down. If you were a regular person who doesn't like Obamacare, that's where you were a little upset. But in a 6-3 vote, the justices ruled that insurance subsidies created by Obamacare can be offered in both state and federal health care exchanges or marketplaces. Because, you know, states are supposed to have these exchanges set up. We have one where our show emanates from here in California. And it is now given a legal stronghold to Obamacare. You know, people are looking at this. I'm not a fan of Obamacare. I think anytime the government tells you that you have to have something or have to do something, I'm not for it. I think that's just, it's overplaying its role when it's telling you that you have to have health insurance. But yeah. I don't necessarily think that we need to be so upset. If you are against Obamacare, I don't think you need to be so upset that the Supreme Court made this decision, because they're simply just ensuring that they're not supposed to make the laws. They're just supposed to make sure that the laws are legal, right? Mm-hmm. And up to stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
so they look at this, and now basically what happens is the next president will come in, and if they don't like Obamacare, if there might be a GOP candidate, they'll be able to have an opportunity to make changes to what is currently in place. Mm-hmm. I would like to play the what if game. And the what if game with Obamacare is if perhaps there was the opposite happened and Obamacare was actually voted down, these subsidies were taken off the table, and Obamacare would dissolve after that happened. I think you would see Congress run crazy, like chickens with their head cut off, because they don't have a plan B. The Republicans have never had a plan B. They say they kind of have one, but it took them about 4 years to put it together. And I'm guaranteeing you right now, if they had done a different decision, and if Obamacare was not going to stand, if it was going to be put into Congress's hands to fix it, there would be big problems, and that would cause mass hysteria within the GOP. And I mean, just really, I don't know that Congress is capable of actually handling this. So
no, they can barely handle simple stuff like ordering staples.
Or copy paper.
Are you kidding?
Which, by the way, a problem here at the CRN broadcast.
$1.2 million for staples and copy paper. How does that work out? They've never heard of Amazon.
But here's the great news. Here's the silver lining. If you don't like Obamacare, and you are on the conservative side of things, if you identify as a Republican or a conservative, like to vote for a GOP candidate, this actually does us pretty well, because I think if the decision had been different and if it had gone back to Congress to fix it, this is a Republican-controlled House, a Republican-controlled Senate, they would have looked like idiots. They would have looked like morons. There's no way that they'd be able to fix this and make it workable. And so now you have us going into an election year, and the Republicans can now say, well, here's what we want to do. They can actually run on the fact that they want to repeal Obamacare. So it kind of actually strategically puts the Republicans in a better place.
You know, I don't think that's a very good platform to run on. There are more important
issues on the planet. That's what Congress just ran on. Everybody that's in Congress right now voted on repeal. I mean, they were put in to repeal Obamacare. Not going to happen.
God. We have nothing better to do with our time.
Nothing.
Nothing better to do.
All right. Also, the Supreme Court, big decision for people that are fans of gay marriage. Gay marriage now legal in all 50 states.
Good.
It used to be that if you were married someplace where gay marriage was legal and then you crossed into a state where gay marriage wasn't legal, that state wouldn't recognize your marital status. Now, on a federal level, it is going to be legal everywhere.
Good.
Okay. Why do you say good?
Because everyone deserves the right to be happy. If gay people want to be happy
but you're
together,
playing
why
on
not?
emotions, young man. This has nothing to do about feelings or being happy. This is all about government control. This is where they get you.
This is not government control.
This is all about government control.
This is basic morality.
Okay, here's the thing. I am all about gay marriage. I don't care who gets married. Honestly. You want it? Look how many people get divorced. You want to take the risk of getting married? By all means, let me walk you to the chapel. I don't care. But when you're doing something and you're seeing something really dangerous and slippery here, used to be that marriage, and for the last, over 100 years, since the Constitution, since we've been a country, okay, couple hundred years, since that point, it has always been up to the states to control marriage. Now it's going to be up to the federal government to control marriage. You want to have the states controlling your marriage, right? Because it's a little smaller. You can vote on it. Your voice is easily heard. When you bring it up to federal control, that's just more government in your life. And what they're doing, Matt, is the federal government says, we'll give you legalized drugs. We'll give you access, gay marriage. Yay. Everybody's happy. And all of this are super secret ways that they're infiltrating your life to put more government control on you. Okay. Has nothing to do. They don't care if you're happily married or not. They don't care.
But in the same breath,
government.
The states can control how divorces are handled. Marriage, one could say 60-40, the other could say 50-50 in a straight marriage. I don't want my rights, like, say I get married in Michigan. I move to California. My marriage certificate is in Michigan, so I have to abide by Michigan rules of standards for marriage, whatever. I don't want them to tell me what I have to do if I just move to California. I think it should be more, what do you call it? Even.
You want across the board.
Across the board. It's easier.
Just telling you this is a sneaky thing. If it were up to me, and I think this actually would be something good, if we could just push all the politicians off the planet and make this my kingdom, Jennifer Horn world, which I would really like. I'd have a crown.
I will still be here to argue with you.
No, it would be fine. You could argue. I would let anybody that wants to get married, and get married in a religious institution. Get married privately. Let private institution marry people, because here's the thing. You bring government into it, they screw everything up. They charge you too much money. It gets bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Make it a religious decision. Make it a private decision. Why do I even need to get the state to give me a license to get married? I mean, is that ridiculous?
But in this light,
what does that piece of paper mean?
In this, it's essentially a contract, if you really want to look at it. But, I mean, as a whole, I think the government did a great job today. I'm sure a lot of religious people are offended. Our religious rights are being infringed upon. So what?
Matt, running the world. I'm
running
just telling
the world.
you.
Your opinion doesn't matter here. Get out.
More government control. All right, up ahead, we have these escaped convicts still on the run. They are the police are just all over New York State searching for these guys in the grass somewhere. And meanwhile, I can't even put this in the right way that's classy. The circumstances surrounding their escape, like with this woman, Joyce Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to work on telling you this in a classy way.
Let's make it raunchy. Why not?
That's next. The details surrounding the escape of the criminals next. That's what's trending.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. plus so much more. A chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
It's what's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I am Jennifer Horn. Matt Basson's hanging out with me today. And by the way, Matt.
Yes.
We're getting some tweets from people listening to the show right now wanting to know if you're on Twitter. Apparently my lack of sleep over the last couple of days and coming back to work, my schedule has made me a little People are loving you on Twitter. So if you want to follow Matt, he is Waffles on the Run, right?
I'm a good looking dude, yes.
Yeah, you are. You are a handsome man. Waffles on the Run. I am at Jennifer Horn if you'd like to follow me.
By the way, real quick, I have a question for you before we move on. How do you get your hair looking so nice every day? I have long hair like you do, but I can never get it to look nice.
Is my hashtag my hair trending?
Hashtag my hair hag.
You're very sweet. If you'd like to actually see my we're on camera right now. You can go to crntalk.com, click on the video cam in the upper left-hand corner of our website. Matt, I don't know. Today was a really quick morning. Had to get ready pretty fast. So today was just a shower, wash the hair, blow dry, and that was it. No product or anything. You have long hair. What, do you use a lot of product?
No.
You don't use anything?
No.
How come your hair is always so shiny? Mine is dead to the world.
I wash it every other day.
I do too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm also a guy, so I could have.
I know you're constantly in the. Are you ever going to cut that thing?
Have you seen my diet?
I know that's true. It's the Jack in the Box tacos.
Oh my God! Do we have some?
Are you ever going to cut that? You could give that to Locks of Love.
Yes, I am. I have plans. I have the paperwork ready to go.
They don't want my hair because it's highlighted. It's chemically processed. All right. Let's get to some big news. And this one is maybe my favorite story of the week, although it's been ongoing for the last couple of weeks. But the more I learn about this story, the more I just absolutely love it. The New York Post is calling it the Shaw Skank redemption.
What about Escapegate?
Escapegate, also one. These two criminals, David Sweat and Richard Matt, have hit the road. They broke out of prison, and they've been on the run for, 3 weeks at least, right?
Has it been 3 weeks already?
It's been a long time.
Wow, New York failed.
Hoping that they break that guy that was hiding out in the Poconos. What was his name? Eric Freeland, I think, was his name.
The guy that had the cabin?
Yeah, he was living inside of the Champagne, hot tub in the Poconos.
Oh, yeah.
That guy. So David Sweat and Richard Matt on the run. They've had a lot of help. And this week, the story that's been trending surrounds this woman, Joyce Mitchell, who apparently did the horizontal mambo with David Sweat, who, by the way, isn't even the good-looking one.
No, but the rumors are
that he's
that he has a boa constrictor in his pants.
Matt. Family show.
Hey, I was using very colorful language.
Joyce Mitchell apparently horizontal mamboed with David Sweat up to 100 times.
Oh my God!
At the Clinton Correctional Facility. I don't know what sicko perv was counting, but apparently this guy who is out of jail now has started talking about the situation. Eric Jensen is his name. Did this interview with the New York Post. He started talking about the situation there. He said, "Oh yeah, all the prisoners in the yard knew that David Sweat and Joyce Mitchell were a thing." And apparently, they'd make fun of David Sweat and say, "Hey, how's your boo?" Which is gangsta talk for your
wait a minute. If all
girlfriend.
The prisoners knew, she was a guard, right?
She was, and she got in trouble, allegedly.
Okay, I was going to say, now, how did the guards not know if all the prisoners
Well,
knew?
they didn't have enough evidence, but I guess they had moved her location just on the idea that something was going on here. She was the prison seamstress, which, again, I question... that title. I mean, I know they make garments in prison, but, seamstress just makes me think of Cinderella and the ball, and it's just bizarre. But anyway, so I guess she would take David Sweat into this closet, and they would...
She would work on his seam.
This is my favorite. They would take him into the closet, and they would count prison outfits. Okay. So just making a suggestion, next time you're feeling romantic with your spouse, maybe you ought to go into a closet and count prison garments. So she would go in, they would be in there for 30 minutes at a time. This former prisoner, Eric Jensen at the Clinton Correctional Facility, said that they would have 30-minute trysts in this storage cupboard. So that's going on. All right.
I'll tell you what, that's some next-level costume play right there.
And this poor woman, nobody looks good in orange. This poor woman has a husband who is oh my gosh, he's so sure that his wife didn't cheat. And looking at her, I can see why he's sure.
Because the entire prison yard is lying, sure. There's a truth teller amongst one of them.
But something's going on here. Something's going on. And in that closet, by the way, they had a view of the place, like the back of the cell where these guys escaped. So there's a lot going on. Plus, a new arrest, which we will get to after the break. Gene Palmer, another prison employee, also arrested this week. This one not involving the horizontal mambo. Oh. This one involving frozen meatloaf. Telling you.
How do you incorporate that?
This is a Lifetime movie waiting to happen. Waiting to happen. We should cast it next. The other guy, not Sweat, but Richard Matt, he sort of looks like the sales guy at the BMW dealership I used to go to. I feel like he could go undercover as a BMW salesman. All right, What's Trending Today continues next at CRN.
Are you emotionally ready to retire? That's one of the questions Stan Hinden, who covers Social Security issues for AARP, writes about in his book, How to Retire Happy. I'm Aileen Ellis. Some people keep working, not just for the money. They like their job and their colleagues. Are you ready to give up that stimulation? If so, what will you do if you stop working? Many people live decades more. How about something that ties in with your interests, skills, or hobbies? Maybe you could teach at a community college, volunteer, or try something new like music lessons or hikes or exotic travel. The point is, develop another circle of people and stay active. And finally, if you have a partner, when you both retire, you'll be together all day. Sometimes things go more smoothly if you each do your own thing for a few hours every day. Stan Hinden's book is How to Retire Happy, the 12 most important decisions you must make before you retire. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpantocin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
If you make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Hey, this is Bodie Stroud, host of In the Garage on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Join us every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk with all my friends from the automotive and custom car business about all the latest things going on in the industry today. That's In the Garage with me, Bodie Stroud, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
What's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I am Jennifer Horn. Matt Bassant's joining me in studio, and been talking this hour about these escaped prisoners from the Clinton Correctional Facility in New York. And police, law enforcement, FBI, they're all out looking for these guys, right? They're all searching away. And so now...
Not doing a very good job.
They're also investigating what the circumstances were within the Clinton Correctional Facility about, what was going on? How did these guys actually make it out? Turns out they had a ton of help. You and I just covered Joyce Mitchell, apparently a romantic partner of one of the fellas, David Sweat. I get why women like the bad boy. This one, when you chop somebody up as a hobby.
No, I know exactly why she liked him.
Might be a deal breaker. All right, Gene Palmer is the second prison employee charged in connection with the escape of these guys. He admitted he provided the fugitives with tools and other items that unintentionally made their escape easier. This is a statement he gave to police. No, wait, that word unintentional is interesting to me.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a drill. Here's a power saw. I didn't know.
What is he going to do? I thought you do-it-yourself project in prison.
I don't know.
This guy's been a prison guard for 27 years, and I'm just going to guess. I've never served hard time, like the big boss man in wrestling. Remember him? I never served hard time. Never even been arrested. Hold on, let me knock on something because I feel like
better
it
knock
could
on some wood.
Hold on. All right, so I've just knocked. Never been arrested. Never served time. I can imagine if I put myself. I like to be compassionate. I like to be empathetic. I like to put myself in someone's shoes. I imagine if I'm in Gene Palmer's shoes, and I have been hanging out with the lowest of the low, sitting in prison for 27 years, I might become hardened. Maybe. Wouldn't you think? I mean, you must lose your rosy glow after 27 years in the clink. Even if you get to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
So let's give him that little benefit of the doubt. So 27 years he's worked in this prison.
You get jaded.
There you go.
Jaded.
That's the word. Told investigators that within the last 8 months, he provided David Sweat, again with the sweat. You know, I would have sworn to you that Richard Matt was the head of this guy, but apparently it was Sweat all the way around. He provided this guy with a pair of needle-nose pliers and a flathead screwdriver, according to a court document. Late last month, he said in a statement he delivered a package said to contain a pound of frozen ground beef and 2 tubes of paint to the other inmate, Richard Matt. Now, apparently his court appearance was adjourned this week because he's changing lawyers. But his current attorney, Andrew Brockway, said he just doesn't have the resources to defend Gene Palmer, who's going to be back in court next week.
Quick question. He gave the pound of meat to the inmates?
Yeah.
What are they? Do they have a microwave in their cell?
Another fabulous question, Matt. Who needs Brian Whitman? Really?
Why do you give an inmate frozen meat?
Okay.
They can warm it up.
First of all, do you get wigged out? I admit that I am a meat eater.
Yeah.
But if I have to think about it too long, I could instantly become a vegetarian. Like if I actually I eat my meat well done.
Don't watch Food Inc.
No, I don't want to know. I'm a city girl. I don't want to know where it comes from. And I will admit to you that those tubes of ground meat that you buy in the grocery store, they totally freak me out because you don't know what's in them. I feel like it could be anything because they always say on the outside 70% lean ground beef.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder what the other 30% is. Well, apparently in this case,
fat.
it was pliers and screwdrivers. So what is the excuse though? Like how do you bring in a big tube, a baseball bat full of frozen ground meat and hand it to a dude and be like, oh, I'm just giving him, bringing him some meat.
I thought they ran all that stuff through metal detectors.
Apparently if you work there, they give you a pass.
Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just bringing my meat in.
Now, investigators have asked Gene Palmer, this man that was arrested this week, whether he assisted in the escape. He said, no, not intentionally. He continued on to say, quote, Matt provided me with elaborate paintings, like whittlings. I've fallen for that one.
Oh, yeah.
And information on the illegal acts that inmates were committing within the facility. So he'd give them information in exchange for
he was a narc.
stuff.
He's a rat. Get him.
He said, I provided him with benefits such as paint brushes, movement of inmates, so they'd move people he didn't like away from him, hamburger meat, altering of electrical boxes in the catwalk area.
What?
Really?
That's a red flag right there. Why would you do that?
Apparently, and this is no joke, by altering those electrical boxes, they were able to cook in their cells. So this guy actually was bringing in meat to barbecue. You've got to be kidding. This is when the prison system is too cushy. You can actually bring in piles of meat with pliers in it so that the guy can barbecue in his cell.
They had a barbecue in the cell.
And those poor other inmates. I mean, think about that. You know how good a barbecue smells. He's cooking in his cell for himself and his little jail friends, and the other guy's probably starving, eating prison slop.
If I was his cell neighbor, I would be so mad. Yo, man, pass them over.
Yeah.
Seriously, bro?
Where's the potatoes on? Anyway, so this just keeps continuing to swirl. Will, I'm sure, be following this next week. I hate to say it because I do not like criminals. I don't support the criminal mindset. Sort of rooting for these guys. I don't know, just because it makes a great story. And there are a ton of weird characters.
At this point,
attached.
you kind of have to. I mean, they're fooling law enforcement left and right. And, they found a cabin up in, middle of nowhere. And
with like a toenail in it. Did you hear about that?
I did.
Like the guy's toenail, a boot, like he had some like bloody blister. And here's the gross part. Some underwear and a open jar of peanut butter. Just going to say, I've heard that joke one too many times. That is like a party at Matt's house on Friday.
I'm trying to remember who the... Totally. You should have come over. It's awesome.
No.
No, I wonder if they're going to end up becoming like the guy that they just caught who was on the lam for like 50 years.
Well, people say, because, people know these guys together. Right?
Yeah.
So many people are speculating that they have now split and that they've gone their separate ways. They have new identities. I'm sure this guy is, challenging the guy from PBS. What's the guy with the big bushy hairdo?
Oh, Bob Ross?
Yeah, Bob Ross. I'm sure now this guy's like the new Bob Ross doing paintings and stuff, selling them at like the Santa Barbara artisan market or something.
You see that mistake? We're going to make it a cloud. And you better not tell anyone that's a mistake.
Or I'll dismember you.
Or I'll show up at your house and rip your arms off. You'll never paint again.
All right, up next, we've got to talk about Donald Trump. Bobby Christina is still in the news, and the passing of two great television stars. We'd be remiss not to pay tribute to them when we return. If you'd like to follow us, by the way, on Twitter, you can follow me at Jennifer Horn. You can follow Matt Besant at Waffles on the Run. And
speaking of on the run.
Exactly. And you can also check out podcasts of the show on our website, crntalk.com/what's trending today. You'll never want to miss a minute of all this incredible radio programming. I'm actually catching my groove now, Matt, so we're good. We're good. All right, up ahead, Donald Trump polling well in New Hampshire.
I'm a carbon fiber 29er full suspension mountain bike. My owner and I are attached to the hip, literally. We were, until the apartment got robbed while he was at his vinyasa yoga class. And the burglar used me to make his getaway. My owner's gonna be uber bummed when he realizes I'm gone. I guess he'll have to find another way to get his daily dose of adrenaline. Maybe he can take up urban beekeeping.
Your stuff can't protect itself. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency helps make it easy to switch and save on renter's insurance. Renter's insurance will cover personal property loss or damage as well as provide liability protection. Visit geico.com today.
At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. Like the L2501 DT compact tractor. Now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years and factory rebates, you can do more for less. That's value. That's Kubota. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You gotta get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
You'll get more floor for less money at Lumber Liquidators with incredible deals on over 400 beautiful full warranty floors from just 49 cents. This week at 5-inch wide pre-finished oak hardwood for under $1 and gorgeous click strand bamboo for $2.29. It's easy to install and 2 times harder than red oak. Plus save as much as 45% on high quality laminate and vinyl wood plank and get 12-month special financing. Get more floor for less money with unbelievable deals on top quality hardwood. Visit LumberLiquidators.com today to find a store near you.
What's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio? I'm Jennifer Horn. I'm Matt Besant in with me today. Donald Trump, might actually be on my very short list of candidates. I'm going to endorse somebody this year for the one person that cares.
If you vote for Donald Trump, we can never be friends again.
Oh, please. The Don is amazing. I'm a fan so far. So far, so good. But we'll see. I'm not committing yet.
Okay,
I have a little commitment issue. It's still a year out. Come on. All right. So, good news. Should we do the good news for Donald Trump first? Because there's good and bad this week.
I'll vote for his hairpiece. Is it running?
It's real. He uses Regenix. Seriously, ask Fred Dreyer. Regenix.com. All right, Donald Trump, polling, he just announced his run for the presidency last week. And in a poll that was released this week, Donald Trump is second only to Jeb Bush in New Hampshire in the GOP presidential race. This is big news because Jeb has been sort of ahead of the polls because he's got name recognition. People may not know too much about him, but they know the name, and that means a lot when you're going after people who don't necessarily study politics. So Jeb Bush earned 14% of the vote in New Hampshire, which is an early primary state. It's an important one to sort of set the scene for how the primaries are going to play out, followed by Donald Trump with 11%. A third of respondents say they were still undecided. That's because there's a lot of people running. And the fact that Jeb Bush only has 14% of the vote and Trump has 11% tells me that there's a lot of people who are supporting a lot of different candidates. I mean, we're already up into like 15 candidates.
There's a lot of people you have to question should be allowed to vote. Yep.
An IQ test, perhaps?
How about, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you got to be able to write your name in pen, not crayon. Sorry, Rachel Dolezal with your peach crayon. You got to write it in a pen and not the erasable Bic. real ballpoint pen, permanent ink.
Oh,
You're in the third grade now.
Why don't we just spring for a permanent marker?
That would be
just
even
do
scarier.
That.
Sharpie. We could graffiti our names. If you can do that, you can vote.
If you can write your name without writing on yourself.
Suffolk University did this poll. And, I think what people like about Donald Trump, let me just cut to it.
Okay,
He's very digestible. He goes out and he talks. First of all, he's a lot of fun to watch, whether you like him or not. He's a lot of fun to watch. And he talks in everyday language. He's not trying to outsmart anybody. He talks to you like he'd be sitting next to you. And everything he says is very digestible. He speaks in sound bites almost.
Where is Brian Whitman? We need him for this.
Hello, Greta. Yeah, no, he does a great Donald Trump. But there are some negatives with the Don. I think people, might be upset because he's, had an interesting past as a businessman. He's made some money. He's lost some money, which I think is par for the course when you're running big business. And people see him as maybe brinking on like sideshow-esque. But we'll see. I say give the Don some room. Let's see what happens. He's coming in second in New Hampshire. That's pretty big a week after he announces he's actually running. Because I don't think a lot of people thought he was really going to say, yes, I am running. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
I am curious to see what's going to happen with this show.
The Celebrity Apprentice?
Yep.
That is the reality show that I would like to be on.
I think that a lot of people were saying that's how he should find his VP.
His cabinet, I know, right?
His cabinet, but the only problem with that is they're going to have to give every other candidate
a TV show. Well, he's not. They blocked it out. So NBC was going to bring it back this fall.
Yeah.
But it's put on hold. So depending on where he is, NBC will make the decision. I mean, they haven't canceled it. They've just got it on hold. So if he continues in his pursuit, they'll keep it on hold. If not, they'll bring it back.
Let's face it. How much fun would the Mike Huckabee Hour be?
That was on Fox. People don't like Mike Huckabee. I actually like him.
Oh, was he on Fox? Okay, Jeb Bush Hour. Come on.
I probably would rather stab myself. This
is a story of my life with
I think Jeb is a perfectly nice man, but good God. Just paint the wall and I'll watch it dry. All right. Bobby Jindal, by the way, speaking of paint drying. No, I like Bobby Jindal. I got to meet him. He's a very nice man. Very good at remembering names.
God.
He jumped in this week as well. So next week, I think we're expecting Chris Christie to jump in. You've got Scott Walker still coming aboard. There is plenty of candidates still. Oh, good. You should.
I'm running.
And don't forget.
I don't qualify in any way, shape, or form, but I'm running.
You're not old enough
yet.
You're too young.
Why not?
Man.
I'm not married either, but.
We should have, if you were older, we could get married for convenience. I'd make a great first lady. I'd be like, Matt, you do this.
It's just take it as a tax write-off.
Do this. All right, Univision. Here's the bad news for Donald Trump today. He made some comments on immigration that have caused him some trouble with Univision. Univision has decided to end its partnership with the Don, who is part owner in the Miss Universe organization. They've cut the Miss Universe pageant from Univision.
Kind of shot himself in the foot with that one.
No, but he made comments about Mexican immigrants in his announcement earlier in the month. He started saying something like, when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Now,
I'm going to part ways with him on the rapist thing. I think those are strong words. But they truly do bring crime and they do bring drugs. He's right about that. It's not pretty.
But wait a minute. Those are my people.
They're my people too. Hello? I've got people in my this is not a hateful statement.
No, real quick. Who do you think staffs his hotels?
Okay, he's not talking about hating a race of people. What he's talking about, and this, by the way, he opened his address with this when he did his intro, and it sounds just like the pages of Ann Coulter's book, Adios America, where she talks about, literally in the first chapter, she talks about the problem with people coming here from Mexico is that they're coming here, it's not like the scholars or, a lot of people are sneaking over here because they're in trouble of some kind.
Yeah.
And, America's forced to pick up the pieces anyway. Miss Universe, no longer on Univision. Trump says that's not going to fly with him. He's going to sue and try to get Miss Universe back. This is no problem for Trump. Miss Universe will air. People will be okay.
It'll survive. We'll survive.
We're going to watch it anyway.
No,
NBC is evaluating its relationship with the Don, saying they are not parting ways with him, but they just disagree with him on a number of issues. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Up next, we've got to talk about Bobby Christina, and we're running out of time. What's trending today? It was a big news week. CRN Digital Talk Radio.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Attention CRN listeners in Arizona. Now all of your mortgage needs can be handled by Advance Capital Mortgage. Looking for a reverse mortgage, refinance, new purchase, or just to streamline your FHA and HARP? Our rates are great with dozens of lending solutions. Call Advance Capital Mortgage, 855-437-8421. That's 855-437-8421. 855-437-8421. MBO 91903, MLS 716936.
My name is Larry Elder, also known as the Sage from South Central Los Angeles. Join me weekdays right here on CRN Digital Talk at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I will engage political and cultural leaders in meaningful debate over race, government, personal responsibility, and education. I'm a fiscal conservative, social liberal, and my views have fueled controversy with the most in-demand radio personalities and cable pundits all across the country. So join me, Larry Elder, right here on CRN Digital Talk weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.
It is what's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Jennifer Horn. That is Matt Bassans. And to pay a little tribute, just for a second, because Dick Van Patten passed away this week. Are you a fan of Dick Van Patten? Do you even know who he is,
I'm
Matt?
not familiar, no.
You're a young man. What are you, 24? 4.
No, I'm 4.
Oh, you're 40. Not how you act, how old you are. Dick Van Patten died this week at 86. He was most famous for starring as Tom Bradford in 8 is Enough. He was 86 years old, died at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica. Complications, I guess he had pretty severe diabetes, and he died from complications of that, according to his publicist. He did Spaceballs. He did a lot of Mel Brooks stuff, High Anxiety, Soylent Green. So just very sad. He also sold a lot of dog food. That may be how you know him. No?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I can't seem to.
Let me throw another one on for you, who's even older. 93 years old. Patrick McNee. Remember him?
Yeah, not a clue. No, I totally remember. He was the guy in the thing on the TV.
The Avengers, Matt. The Avengers. He was a British actor, and he was known as Secret Agent John Steed. By the way, it's a great name.
I think your Avengers and my Avengers are two different things.
They're a little different. Yeah, mine is a 1960s TV series. He died. He was 93 years old. Natural causes for him. He lived in Rancho Mirage. Apparently, he moved out there about 50 years ago because his daughter was suffering from asthma. And so the Palm Desert area, Rancho Mirage, was where that was healthiest for her to live, and so he lived out there. He was great in the Avengers. Definitely you should check that out on Netflix if you don't know. So both of those guys, they will be missed. Now, Bobby Christina in the news. And I don't know if you heard the latest here, but her family made the decision this week to pull her off of life support.
Finally.
After about 6 months, almost 6 months since she was found in that bathtub.
What a miserable existence to be stuck and you can't do anything. You're not.
I totally disagree. Hook me up to the tube, stuff me, bring me into my desk every day, just sort of like put the stuffed version of me in my chair. There's a country song that says prop me up beside the jukebox when I die. That's where I want to be. Find a fun dive bar for me, prop me up over there. But Bobbi Kristina, she has not passed on as of our showtime today. She is in hospice care in Atlanta. Here's where the story continues to get weird. She's had this weird relationship with her brother / almost husband / boyfriend, Nick Gordon. Nick Gordon was raised by Whitney Houston and apparently had a romantic relationship with Bobbi Kristina after her mother died.
Awkward.
There are reports, and a lawsuit was filed against Nick Gordon by Bobbi Kristina's conservator. In the suit, it says that it accuses him of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and transferring money from her account into his own. Apparently, he would beat her up, drag her up the stairs by her hair, knocked her teeth out. She got medical attention for all of that. All the while, he's taking money out of her bank account. Then, when she threatened to tell someone and get help, she ended up in the bathtub like her mother without any drugs in her system.
I'll tell you what.
Right after that, he took out $11,000 from her bank account.
He sounds like a winner.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it'll be interesting to see what happens legally to Nick Gordon. Finally, we got to get out of here. Bristol Palin announced she was pregnant again. This girl, oh my gosh. I like the Palins, but they just keep squirting gasoline into their fire here. I mean,
oh, come on. It's fun to watch them burn. I mean, seriously.
2 out of wedlock?
Please.
With all of that attention?
Oh, no, let them.
And then she wrote, it's a huge disappointment to her family. Honey bunny, as someone who studied PR, let someone review your statement before you call your child a huge disappointment. That will not be taken well. And before we get out of here, remember Saved by the Bell and Screech?
Yeah.
He got into a bar brawl not too long ago and stabbed a guy. Well, he got sentenced this week, 4 months for stabbing plus 15 months probation.
That's it? There are people that got to jail for years.
I've heard he is not a nice guy. He played the lovable nerd.
I've heard the same.
Heard he's pretty mean. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Matt Besant.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you all for listening. Check out our website with all of our podcasts, crntalk.com/what's trending today. For Matt Besant and Courtney Kadera, I'm Jennifer Horn, wishing you a great weekend, everyone.